trying to get a copy of the FOIA request that I did and it was filed.
You're trying to get a copy of what?
Of the FOIA request that I submitted and was filed on that day.
We only keep the requests that you do for 2 weeks. We don't have requests dated back that far.
You don't keep, like, if it's
No, we
filed?
only keep them for 2 weeks and we shred them. We don't retain copies of requests back that far. I go through our requests every 2 weeks and shred everything 2 weeks prior.
Well, I'd
I
like
mean,
to
I can't certify
submit
that
then.
because that's not one, what is this one right here?
I'd like to submit that then, to get a copy of the FOIA log.
We don't have it, is what I'm saying. When you turn in a request to do a background search, we keep those requests for 2 weeks, and then after that, we go through and shred. Like this morning, I went through and shredded all of our prior requests past the 2 weeks from today. We don't keep records that far. We couldn't. We would have no room.
But like with the Freedom of Information Act request, you should keep a log every year of all the requests.
No, sir, we don't have to do that. We don't keep a request. We don't keep a request log for a year. We get background searches. Sometimes we get 20 background searches a day. We cannot keep all those background searches for a year.
2 5s.
We shred them every 2 weeks. We don't even have to wait 2 weeks to shred them.
Well, if you could just have the clerk look at it before
I am
you
the
just,
clerk. I'm the one that does the background searches.
that does all of it. You're not a deputy clerk?
Yes, sir, I'm a deputy clerk.
Well, I was gonna say have the head clerk look at it before you just sign that there is no
But
records.
what I'm saying is, I'm the one that does the background, so I'm the one that shreds them. So there is nothing in there that's past today's date. I shredded everything from April 18th and prior. We only keep records up to 2 weeks at a time.
Even with
And
the
I shred
Freedom
it
of
every
Information request?
I'm sorry?
Even with Freedom of Information
It's
request?
a request, it's a background request. We only keep requests 2 weeks at a time. So when I came in this morning and I did the background searches that we had over there from the weekend,
Yeah.
once I processed those, I pulled all the backgrounds out and I shredded everything prior to April 18th. We only keep them 2 weeks at a time. I shred them every Monday. That's the
Okay.
way we do our process. That's the way we've done it for, I couldn't tell you how many years.
I was just wondering, because the FOIA request that I submitted was stamped that it was filed.
It was filed. Whenever you drop it off and we do the background search, we file stamp at the date we do the search. But we give that to you. We don't keep it in our records for years at a time.
Okay.
The ones that there's a stack in there, backgrounds that are this thick, and that's just from 2 weeks at a time. There's no way we can keep backgrounds going back to whenever you did your original quest.
Well, I
back in
thought maybe
March.
if it was, more formally with being the Freedom of Information Act,
It's
that.
just all it is just a general background search. It's all it is. You can list it as a Freedom of Information, but it's just a general background request.
That you guys don't keep a record of
No,
all
sir,
the
that's what I'm telling you, we
all
don't.
the
No.
Freedom of Information Act requests?
There is no way we can, sir. There's no way we can keep a record of a background search for up to a year. That's what I'm saying. We don't have room to do that. Our stack that I have in there right now is that thick, and that's just for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
If you only understood how many background searches I get in one day, and it's a lot. And there's no way we're gonna keep them for a year at a time. It does not happen.
Well, I mean, if you just want to, that first one I gave you, if you just want to stamp that there's no record.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, there's nothing for me to stamp. There's nothing for me to state. I mean, we don't
that
keep
you
background
received it
searches.
at all.
We don't keep. We already given you your background search when you requested it. There's nothing else I can give you. I mean, that we gave you what you requested.
What do
We don't
you
keep
keep
them
saying
on-
background search? What do you mean by?
That is a background search. What you're doing is a background search. Is to get copies of your records from your prior charges, which is a
Yeah.
background search.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I thought it was just a records request, honestly.
It's a background search. It's records request, background search, same thing. Freedom of information request, same thing. It's a background search of your charges. And we've given those to you a couple of times when you've come in and asked for them.
Well, could you at least just give that to the head clerk, and if there isn't any records, she can just contact me, and
There isn't, sir. There's nothing.
there's no FOIA log at all.
No, we do not keep a log of all the background searches we do. There is no way we could.
Okay. All right.
We get up to 20 to 30 background searches a day, if not more sometimes.
Okay.
There's no way to keep a log of that.
All right. Well, thank you.
Mhm.